Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Check Out Some Mods. And today we're going to check out a couple of manure spreaders put out by my buddy Scott over at Scooters Workbench. And I'm going to use this Case IH Pro 7210 to spread some poo. So these can be found under manure spreaders all the way over, and he's got two different kinds. He's got the Case IH 50 or 555 manure spreader. Both of these are going to be $1,200, and he's got a John Deere. He's got one more, but these are the ones that I'm going to do today. I got, like I said, the Case IH and then the John Deere Model 34 manure spreader. They are, let me get my mouse out here, 6 meter spread. They hold 50 to 85 liters of manure, and they only take 20 horsepower. So you can do this, use these with really small tractors. I mean, the smallest, for example, the smallest tractor you can buy for $59,000 is still 150 horsepower. Even 100 horsepower, even the fence. I mean, all of these will pull it, and you can even do some older tractors too. So let's get into buying a couple of these, and we'll go take a look at them. Okay, there's no changing to them. This is how they are. There's no changing wheels or anything like that. This is how they come. Let me zoom in here. Okay, I'm going to buy one of those, and then I'm going to buy the John Deere. All right, let's go take a look at these. As you can see, normal Scott work. Great detail. Now, what he's done is he's put a little more wear texture on them, because in real life, manure spreaders are there to be used. So these are to represent some older manure spreaders. They got the worn textures on them. But we're going to take these over, and I'm going to fill them up and see what we got. And see if I can take a look at this. And I'm going to make sure that they work with the adjustable spray mod. Yep, PTO hooks up. There's no hoses on it, but there's PTOs on it. She works. She spins. All right, let's get into this. Now, as usual, I turned off the traffic. Normally, I would say I'm going to be quiet here, but I don't have to. Even this, one of the smallest medium tractors there are out here, is just really big compared to this. But yet, this is a 6 meter spread. It's really cool. I mean, this would work fantastic on smaller fields. If you started getting into a 4X map, you wouldn't want to use this. I mean, you can. And it works. But this is for those small, little tight farms. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy my usual. I normally would have it set up. But today, I wanted to get them down there because I didn't want to bring them up to the store. I wanted to show them in the store. All right, so we're going to go here. Go over here. Right underneath the tractor. Manure. Filled them. Now, as you can see, like I said, I should have used Scott's other tractor with this, but he'll understand. I mean, the only other thing that I did do is I set this field to cultivated so that we can get a good see of what it is. All right. Now, let's pulling up the F1 menu. And as you can see, it is set up. Decrease M. You can get this all the way down to 12, which is not going to use a lot. You don't have to unfold it. You only have to turn it on. It's ready to go. So, get that off there. And turn it on. And away she goes. See that? Get in here so you can see everything works. The spinner works. it out a little farther. Do that. I mean, it does what it says it's supposed to, which is kind of cool. Let's go in so you can hear it. So, for those of you who like smaller manure spreaders, this is the way to go. I mean, to be honest with you, 6 meters is as realistic as you're going to get. They do have manure spreaders out there in real life that are ginormous. All right, so get that off. We'll take a quick look at this. Comes with the McCormick International, which is who put out International Harvester. These, as you guys saw, spin. The dirt texture on them is very good, as usual. PTO. No hoses, but it doesn't need hoses. It only needs the PTO. Because if you think about it, the PTO, there's nothing to raise or lower. So hoses that hook up right there, they're set up to raise and lower stuff. The PTO drives, standing in some poo, drives the chain, which turns these, and that's how it works. So let's go over, and we're going to buy the smallest John Deere tractor I can find. Nothing small. Let's go with the 6M series, and I'll just lease it. Just so a John Deere can pull a John Deere. Oh, here's what we'll show you. This is what the PTO drives. See these little black things? This is called a chain. And it would go, and then it would spin this thing here. So when the manure's in it, it spins it and works it. It's pretty simple configuration. It's pretty simple design, but it's been around for hundreds of years, and that's what they do. I don't know about hundreds of years, but many, many years. Because a couple hundred years ago, they didn't have them. They just went out and spread it pretty much by hand. Probably the 20th century, late 1800s, beginning of the 1900s is when it really started with these older, When I was growing up, we only had these, we had one that only held like maybe 2,000 liters. It was so small. And it went so fast that you could barely get to the end of the field. You had to turn around. But like I said, our biggest field was 60 acres. And, okay. So, all right. Do this. Okay, so that thing, now it worked for that one, but this thing here is another mod. So it may be a mod conflict that it didn't allow me to fill it. But I have used these off camera, and they both work really well. So that's not something Scott did. That's probably a mod conflict with the John Deere and this thing. So I have to give him credit. That's not something he did. So once again, we'll turn this on, and we'll just decrease it. Yep. And make sure that it works with the variable spray mod. Sorry, get spinning around, get dizzy. Get set up here. No unfolding. So let's turn it on. 6 meter spread. Everything's spinning. The bars are spinning. Yep. Pushing the manure right out. Everything's working well. Wrong button. Yeah, it'll teach me. This one it seems like it's a little smaller. So let's check that in the store to make sure that these are not, they're the same exact size. 5285, 5285. Yeah, the McCormick International Harvester looks a little bit bigger. They both hold the exact same thing. They're both literally the exact same mod with that. So it's funny when I put the field to cultivate it. It didn't go all the way to the edge. I don't know. That's the developmental controls for you. But as you can see, it works really well. And then we'll go do one more pass. With... It might be just this tractor's bigger. Because it is considerably bigger than the case. Because the manure spreaders are literally the exact same size. Everything's exact. So, I want to make sure that this works. Because I'll it's probably a mod conflict with the John Deere, which it may be. Yeah, because that one works good. So, because I guarantee you it wasn't something... Because if he's made these exactly the same, why would one work and the other one didn't? So, that just goes to show you that it's probably a conflict. Something to do. Yep. They work really well. 12 miles an hour speed. Works really well. Typical Scott mod. He does all the details and figures out. Now, because I have... I forgot. Well, I'm using my controller for the mod review. And it's usually square to jump out with the controller. Or X on the Xbox controller. Sorry, I forgot I'm on PC, so I'm using the Xbox controller. But, and then it's LB and square to shut it off, and I forgot to hit LB twice. That's funny. But once again, short little review. Get these parked exactly the same. Alright, so these are the manure spreaders put out by Scooters Workbench. The John Deere 34 and the McCormick IH, as I always have to do this because I forget. McCormick IH, or Case IH as they are better known today, 555 manure spreader, and the John Deere Model 34 manure spreader. Both 6 meters, holds 5285, 20 horsepower. I can't get over that. I mean, you're getting a manure spreader that literally can be pulled by almost a bicycle at this point. And you're getting 6 meter spread. It doesn't hold a lot, but for those that like, I forgot I got to check the dirt texture. Oh yeah, nice. Now, as you see, he's got the... Let me see if I can go bend down here so I can show you. Bend down the chain. It goes right underneath there. See? And that works. And that the other one, I just noticed that. See how the chain goes underneath it? And it spins because I've checked it. That's awesome. Great job, Scott, as usual. You'll be able to find these over at G&G Modding for Scooters Workbench. They're under announcements. But once again, as usual, answer the 3 questions if you want to join. They're super easy. Then you're in like Flint. And then you can download all the Scooters mods. And there's a couple other guys that have mods in there. And I'm going to be doing reviews on those as well. I got a couple of mods coming out from a buddy of mine from Australia. And a couple of mods more for WMR modding. So stay tuned. And like always, guys, like and subscribe and hit the little notification bell. And... just enjoy. These are the manure spreaders by Scooters Workbench. As you guys can see, Scott does amazing work. But take care of yourselves and look after yourselves and look after your family and look after each other. And most of all, enjoy. And once again, catch you everybody on the flip side.